Bougie Gang! What's going on? Happy Friday, guys. How are you? Oh my God. I feel like I'm like, wait a second. What did I just stumble across? 'Cause baby, we have so much to talk about. Woo! Season's greetings, y'all. Like, officially, it feels like it's not Christmas, but it is Christmas. Merry Christmas, you guys. Happy holidays, whatever you're celebrating out here. We've made it through almost another one, and yeah, we're making through. Portia just got her hair cut. She looks so beautiful. Lambo doesn't even know what to do with himself. So Lambo is having a hard time. She's been gone all morning. She came home smelling different, looking different, probably acting different because she's back. She looks like I don't even know. She had so much hair on her. She's getting brand new, and Lambo's having a hard time dealing with it. I love how expanded audiences are seeing how fabulous you and your commentary is. You guys are gonna make me cry. Thank you. You guys are so awesome. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. I hope. I mean, look, that's the hope. Everyone is not for everybody, but I'm just glad I'm for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm for Bougie Gang, and everything else is like a bonus. Okay? Everything else is a bonus. I'm for y'all. Okay, that's the most important thing. I'm for you guys, and everything else is a bonus on top of that very lovely situation that we've created over here. Okay. And period. Greater Bougie Gang is awesome. Okay, let me so I just hey, you two. Lamb. These two are going at it. My God. Thank you, Soul Power. Good afternoon, Bougie Gang. Fran, I see you doing big things in these YouTube streets. Congratulations. Thank you, sis. Thank you. YouTube gave us something new to play with. I'm going to use it, and let's see. I used it in my last live, and it's a beautiful thing. So I thank you guys very much. Let's see. We're just going to give it like, okay. Okay. Okay, I just put up a goal. Thank you so much, Soul Power. I appreciate you, hun. Okay, it's like they're quiet right now. He's just, all right, let me focus. All right. Okay. This might be some breaking news. Hey, you two, stop it. Stop. I'm gonna have to put them out. Does my sound funny? Okay. It sounds really loud. Let me put the sound down some. Sound is loud. Okay, put the sound down a little bit. Let me go into my mic. It sounds super loud. Does it sound good for you guys? Does it sound normal? Thank you. Thank you, CW. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Okay. I got something to show y'all. I literally just went into Nesto's file just to see what I could see. And I saw something and I'm like, what? You got to be kidding me. I'm not saying a word. I'm just going to drop it right here and show it to you guys. Okay. And then I want to talk about everything I saw. I did watch Pam's post last night. It was very insightful. We love Pam. Pam is, she's in a class all by herself. Pam is really awesome and gave some really good perspective. The thing for me listening to Detective Natalie Holloway's, thank you, Soul Power again, Reef and Muff's mom, thank you. Um, it really just brought to life all of the warrants. I mean, we've looked at all these warrants, we've read the police reports, we read the motions and the filings. On Tuesday we talked about what was still pending, and I think we had a hey, hey. I think we had a good idea what to expect, and pretty much, and I mean, it wasn't a prediction, but on Tuesday we talked about what was going to happen when we saw the subpoena from Natalie Fields, and pretty much everything that we talked about on Tuesday night unfolded on Wednesday. So, I'm going to say this, Bougie Gang, the internet, the audience in our collective is right on top of the pulse of what is going on with this case. It wasn't really a whole lot of surprises. The main surprise for me was seeing that Sonya got subpoenaed. But we're going to talk, I want to talk about everything. Anyway, let me show you guys this real quick. But um I think for some people like who are trying to get it, who are getting into the story and getting caught up, there's a lot to catch up on. But if you definitely if you found Pam the Law Intellect, she's done a lot of work on this topic and definitely brings a legal perspective. Nyla, there's so many people on the YouTube streets who are giving their opinions and speaking on this topic. So anyone who's just finding their way here, all you have to do is search Ernest Williams, and there's any number of really good content creators out here who are dropping information on this topic. And you can also hit my playlist because I have a full playlist and a Patreon full of documents and all of the things that if you are wanting to get into this, it's there. Guys, do you see this? Hold on, let me move this comment. And thank you. Okay, so look at this, guys. Final plea. Do you see this? June 10th, 2025. Can I just give a what in the fuck? I thought because I was looking to see if they were confirming the next date. Thank you so much, Black Sky. I appreciate it. I Lambo. I'm gonna have to give him a chill pill in just a second. No, not you. Girl, look at this. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be any dates in between, but look at this date. What the hell is going on here? And remember, he said to Nesto, well, we'll have your indictment came in April and we're going to try to have this resolved in a year. Why are we doing a final plea in June? That's over a year. What's going on? What is really going on? And where is the date? If they're putting up a date for June for final plea, where is the hearing? Or has something occurred because now they're dragging Sonya into it? I did get some calls this morning because I was like, what's going on? Somebody mentioned one of you guys sent me a note and said, Fran, can you see what happened? Like, can you listen and see what happened after court? So I don't have anything from today or yesterday. Hold on, let me see. This is not exact, like, okay, I'm having thoughts and I haven't been able to really process everything yet, but they hadn't talked longer than 4 minutes. So in the past 10 days of phone calls, the calls literally are like 30 seconds, 50 seconds. They're really short calls, right? About 6 calls ago, on the let's say the 13th of December, a week ago, Nesto tells Sonya to go to his emails, which I think he's talking about his text messages, and go back to the beginning, and all of the things that he's been talking about have actually started happening. And I was like, I wonder if they heard him refer back to the beginning of the text messages, and gosh, like what could it be that's in there? What are they talking about? So I don't know. We're going to listen to that too. Okay, we're going to listen to it and react to it. I don't know. I don't want to do too much because I don't try to put out too much of the uncuts of new things because our friends over at phone calls does that. But we might take a sneak peek, listen, and react to it. And for the raw and uncut, you have to wait for our friends to put that out. Okay. Um. Anyway, there's that. There's this that I'm seeing right now that I was looking to see, like, where's the next date, and the next date that they put on the calendar is damn June 10th, 2025. Thank you so much, Ducky Dexter. I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop some coins on all of y'all in just a minute. Y'all are awesome. Let me see. I so two more to make my goal. I was like, sometimes I feel like I don't like to do too like I was like, okay, if I put up the goal, is it really? So I tested it out on my last live and I put up five because I was like, maybe five people will help me with my goal and, continue to support my channel because YouTube gave us this tool. I didn't make this tool. I'm not a programmer. So YouTube created this tool, I guess, for crowdfunding to support your favorite YouTuber or whatever, or support the content that you like. And I really appreciate them doing that because I would never really put up something like that on my own. But I said, you know what, let me try it because they gave it to us to use. And I appreciate y'all so much and I thank you because that's really, it helps my confidence. Okay. It helps me feel like, okay, you guys, thank you. She looked like a bag lady. Oh, you're talking about when she was at court? Guys, we have so much to talk about. It's like it's hard to get to everything. So yes, I did watch Wisdom's Daughter. Wisdom Daughter did have some candid shots of ma'am. Y'all achieved my goal. Are you kidding me? Thanks for the participants. Real Talk Bougie just achieved her goal. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, y'all, I was so um I was a little mad at myself that I wasn't better prepared. I had charged my cameras like on Tuesday. I had everything charged. It threw me off that I couldn't bring my equipment into the building. I probably could have brought it in and put it in a locker. You guys, y'all showing out now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who is here. It means so much. Um, Thank you. Happy to be happy. Thank you, sis. Okay, thank you. Yes, Nyla was so fun last night. First of all, let's send Nyla some get well soon wishes because ma'am was low key getting sick last night, and I hope she's got her family coming in from out of town. And I cannot even imagine what it's going to be like when I have grandchildren coming to visit and my kid that I haven't seen in a minute. I look forward to those days. Not speeding anything up, of course, but ma'am has family coming in from out of town and I hope that she gets well soon so she could enjoy her family and enjoy the kids coming home and coming to see and spend the holidays. So let's hope and wish and pray for Nyla's speedy recovery so she can get onto grandma things. But the good thing is that she's got her mom and then her mom has her mom. So isn't that beautiful that they have like 4 and 5 generations coming? So if it's grandma's there, mom's there, Nyla's there, her kids are there, and then their kids are there. That's 5 generations in one house. How beautiful is that? That's a celebration in and of itself. So send our girl some well wishes and wish her well and a speedy recovery so she can enjoy. Like, this is a momentous occasion to have so many generations all at one time for the holidays. It's absolutely beautiful. So I sending her a speedy recovery and I hope she's doing better today so she can enjoy the family, but also the blessing of having all the kids and mom and grandma there that they can nurse on her and help her get back well, so that she can be good for Christmas. So but yes, I was over on Nyla's channel last night. We had a really good chat about what was going on with the subpoena. So we're not going to get like heavy into the subpoena, even though I literally could not sleep last night thinking about the subpoena and what was it for. You guys showed out. Thank you so much. Let me see. The Bushes said thank you. The time was had last night. Yes, it was fun. We had a good time. If you missed Nyla's chat last night, I will bubble it up. If somebody wants to drop the link and then I'll pin it. But go check out, go support because sis might be sick. So if you haven't had a chance to see it, go check it out. We did talk about a lot of information last night. So it's definitely, of course, worth a watch. And also just the entertainment of it all. We had a good time. It was a nice girl chat on some true crime and a little bit of gossip. Yes, I enjoyed. I love talking to Nyla on live is like just talking on the phone. It's very like easy and natural to get into conversation with her because she's fun to talk to. Um, Thank you for the sticker. Delicate Dell, thank you for the sticker. You have only 1 minute remaining. Thank you for the sticker. Thank you for the milestone. You deserve it. There's nothing wrong with the goals. Thank you. Pen Pal, MJ, thank you for the sticker. Pen Pal said, thank you for all you do. Thank you for the sticker. Thank you for the accolades on some Nene Leaks. Thank you for my accolades. I appreciate that. Congratulations. You're a natural just because I appreciate you. I hope I didn't skip anybody. Thank you for the manicure emojis. You guys dropping manicure emoji. First, like, it was Sherelle's World and Funky Dineva for me. It was very much like, oh my God. And then you guys kept messaging me like, oh my God, you're on this channel. Oh my God. It wasn't, look, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest. I just have to thank Tasha K. Tasha K is very cool and she's a good person. She's a good person. And I feel very appreciative of her giving me a chance when like nobody knew my name or nobody, I don't want to say people didn't, just that, she gave me an opportunity. She saw that we were, Bougie Gang had a lot of enthusiasm around this case. This was a case that she, I guess, wanted to bring to the internet. And I appreciated her giving me an opportunity to be on her platform because, on YouTube, that's a big deal. People don't just have people on their platforms. So I really appreciated that. And whenever I have some tea to share, I typically I drop it with the people who have my back. You know what I'm saying? So and she's one of them. So I appreciate that very much. Petty Patty's dropping Nyla's channel. If you're new here and you don't know Nyla's channel, Nyla's True Crime Corner, please go check out our girl. She definitely drops a lot of really cool content. So go check her out. And our other girl, Pam, the Law Intellect. Okay. And they will get you right. Okay. Let me see. Okay, let me do this first. Do you guys want me to show you? Okay, let's talk Nesto first, and then I may just have to do another live. I do have all the Peter documents, so I don't know if you guys wanted to see that first, but I wanted to drop this because I'm still kind of like in shock and awe about this being 6/10/25. Nesto will officially be in jail 3 years by the time this final plea occurs, which is absolutely like, it's not acceptable to me on some, we've been waiting long enough. I'm not, it's not my job to care about him. I'm not sitting up here caring about other people's husbands. I got my own. Okay. And thank you, Jesus. We don't have those problems. So Nesto sitting there over in the county for damn 3 years, that's his problem. Now, okay, so I listened to the video coverage and this is some things I heard. Number one, on the discovery, we talked about this and they talked about Joey's here. Hey, Joey. Joey, give me a minute. If you want to call in, I'd love to have you call in, but I feel like I might need to write a list to make sure we cover everything. Um, so, um, Lambo, hush, 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 hush. Um, oh God, I just lost what I wanted to say. Okay. Nesto getting arrested. I'm going to probably be all over the place. Let me just say something. Nesto getting arrested. Him going up with Officer Gooden. to the interview room. Some of you guys were like, oh, interviews. Maybe they're talking about Sylvia's interviews. No, they were not talking about police interviews are not phone calls, global tel link phone calls or video visits. Police interviews are police interrogations. When they say interview, that's an interrogation. So Nesto went to the police station, and we have been able to fact check, confirm via the testimony that Nesto was interviewed by Officer Gooden. Period. Okay. Nesto talked to the police. Now, she said that Nesto didn't want to tell a whole lot, but Nesto was in an interview room. He did not refuse to have a conversation. He talked to the officer. What was said? What was said? I don't know. I don't know. We hadn't seen that yet, but we definitely saw that damn body cam footage. So let me see. Interview with Officer Gooden, because what was Natalie Fields? Not a detective yet. So she observed from the outside. Nesto getting cuffed was the laugh of the day. It's the laugh. It's the cherry on top for me at this moment. I was like, baby, interview with Officer Gooden. It was the body worn camera footage, baby. Girl, that's about like when they showed Wade Wilson and his body cam footage when they were trying to talk to him outside of the damn Joe's Crab Shack, and he was talking to the officer and took off. Baby, I probably think I watched that about 25 times. Okay. And any of you guys following Wade, I got some Wade stuff for you. I A couple of you guys in a live asked about a situation that happened with Wade and his roommate. So I did send a request to Lee County, and the Lee County person sent me a note back and said they did not have time to look through all these reports. So here you go. They sent me 32 incident reports. I was like, well, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. I was like, I told Nyla last night before, I said, girl, I sent a note for one incident report, and baby, they sent me 32. She was like, well, let's read them. I know. I was like, I know we're gonna get to them. We're gonna get to them. So we got some stuff to do. Coming up. So any of you guys following Wade, it's going to be time for some Wade story time very soon. So we will definitely be getting into that. I was reading some of them. I mean, there was one specifically that revolved around Wade being he got into some trouble, and he had been part of his punishment was no canteen. So he started acting up for some reason. Why, when they went and searched in his cell and patted him down, why did he have he took a t-shirt and t-shirt material and ripped it up? Why did he have canteen supplies, food, um I don't know if it was noodles. He had food strapped to his body. So he was basically wearing his food because he wasn't allowed to have it in his canteen. They took his canteen. He couldn't order canteen, but he had canteen, and he had it strapped to him. So I was like, I've seen it all. I've heard it all. I cannot believe this. So yeah, just some interesting Wade storytime stuff. So we will definitely get into that. Hopefully the dogs are gonna quiet down in a minute. We'll just give them a girl. What was that? I'm like, hold on. Let me check. Let me check this house. Y'all, the dogs are acting. The dogs are acting up. Hold on. What are y'all doing? Y'all put it out. Okay. Y'all, Portia went and got her hair done without Lambo, because Lambo's not very well trained yet to go to this particular groomer. And so she was gone all morning, and then she came back smelling different, looking different, and he's losing his fucking mind. He's losing his mind. Um, Thank you, Houston Foodie. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you for the sticker, sis. Thank you. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Illegal Paralegal. Thank you. Thank you, Houston Foodie. Thank you, Miss Buckeye. Appreciate you. Okay. Um, all right, back to Nesto. Interview. He did interview with the police, and based on the amount of gigabytes or the amount of interviews they posted, Nesto did some talking. Okay. Um, Miss Buckeye is a new member. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you guys. Um, I appreciate all of you. So he did do interviews. He did the body worn camera. Now, the interesting thing that they did mention Charleston White, that I was like, wait a second. So I never saw the lease for 980 and 990 Pine Grove Road. It was not available. But okay, this is my thought about everything about the motion to suppress. We talked about it. We read the whole thing. I bubbled up that video on my community page. My opinion still has not changed about the motion to suppress the vehicle search, but Will Wooten states that his case is not contingent upon that, but of course the other cases are. Now, that being said, I do feel like he did establish that this case was in the works and that there was probable cause. Remember, the threshold for probable cause is very low, and based on all of what Natalie Fields laid out, I'm sorry, I think that the motion to suppress is going to be denied unless there was something illegal about what they did. So I feel like the way that he was able to question Natalie Fields, I don't know. I need to go back and listen to Lambo. Stop. I feel like I need to go back and listen to Roberto's session, his argument and his questioning of Natalie Fields. I was so distracted by the body cam footage. By the time the body cam footage came, I was pretty much no good after that. So I was very attentive during Will Wooten's portion, but when it got to Sean Hoover, I was done because the body cam took me out. Okay, the body cam took me all the way out. But I do feel like Will Wooten laid a very good foundation because they had been up to shenanigans. There were warrants. There were established situations that happened. We know about Nicole Mormon. Nicole Mormon was the lawyer for Lil Durk. Okay, she was Durk's lawyer about 2-3 years ago. Okay, we know who Holloway is. We saw her. She gave her victim impact. There was a lot going on before he actually got arrested. So don't be worried, guys. I think that the state has a good case, um, with or without. And at the end of the day, they don't, if they have to shift priorities, I'm sure they can streamline certain things if evidence has to be thrown away. But if they're able to go through their case and say, okay, this is the evidence that we're relying on for this. How was this evidence? I'm sure maybe today or sometime this week, they're going through this indictment and they're going to look at the indictment and look at the evidence that they have to support each count and check off, is this supported by any fruits of the poisonous tree? I would imagine me not on the team, I would be fact checking and double checking my indictment at this moment to make sure that everything that I have on that list can be supported outside of the event that occurred on 7/7. So, and if I don't, and if I have something that is supported by something that was yielded from that search, then figure out from there like put that to the side and then figure out from there, like, okay, what's next steps with that. But I really, I I think they're good. I do. Um, I think that based on the evidence, they had probable cause to go to Erica King's house anyway. I believe that there already was a warrant. When Erica showed up and they realized that she was not the attorney that she said she was, and that there was a problem on that Zoom dispossessory for the shenanigans at Bent Creek. And we did a whole video about Bent Creek. Okay. All of the shenanigans that happened at Bent Creek and how they were in eviction court and Erica King was representing and Nesto wasn't even on the lease. Okay. And how Shirley ended up with over a $40,000 garnishment. All of that happened before the arrest on July 7th. She was representing Nesto before that. She was convicted for situations that happened before then. So I do feel like they have adequate information and evidence. I do feel like they were able to establish that this case was already ongoing. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. If Natalie Fields got a promotion off of the work that she did tailing Nesto's ass in between actually doing her job and doing extra work, then she deserved it. And it's unfortunate for women. Let me just get on that soapbox right now that we have to do our jobs to the T and then some to be able to get promotions. But that's what we have to do as women. We have to do our jobs amazingly and then do over and above to be able to get recognized for doing not only just a great job, but also for promotions. So if she got a promotion off of him, good for her. Because based on what she described, she would find any bit of time that she could to get up on his ass. Okay. She did her homework. She got another officer involved. She basically created herself her own team revolving around something that she noticed and realized that she uncovered a situation, a little low simmer situation that was going on. And he's sitting here getting away with being a menace in the community. So if in fact her promotion came from what she did, it sounds like, and based on what she testified to, she did do a good job and she did deserve that. I mean, I don't know what the criteria is for that, but it sounds like she did her job and then some. And we also read in those warrants and things that she actually went for advanced training on numerous times, things that were part of her job and not part of her job. She's a career cop, and there's nothing wrong with that. Her promotion was well deserved. Right. Right, absolutely. I mean, we don't know all of her work history, but it sounds like sis works hard and sis identified a situation. She took time in between that she really could have just been sitting in her car on Instagram or whatever cops do in between designated work, speed checks, whatever they do, right? She took time in between things that she had to do and found a case that she wanted to work on as if she was a detective and got a detective involved and engaged him in helping her. And and this is a big deal. So good for her. I'm not mad at Officer Fields. That's what they do. Don't be mad. It's funny how Nesto and his team are mad at people who actually do their job, right? They're expecting you to not do their job. Also, to the point of the motorcycles, there were police reports. Nesto had been low key a menace all around. Everything wasn't just discovered from his black bag. Everything was just not discovered from his black bag. So he wants to think it is. I say, nah. Anyway, okay, so that's that on that. Um, I want to watch it again before we really talk about it, talk about it. But I know, Pam did a very complete video, and I enjoyed watching it. So I really don't necessarily have anything to add specific to the testimony. But next time I watch it, maybe I'll try and watch it tonight. I will make my notes of very specific things, but the main things that stuck out to me were the fact that the confirmation that Nesto did sit for police interviews, the body cam footage. They mentioned damn Charleston White's name being on the lease, which I thought was crazy. Um, and that's just goes back to Erica King saying, "Oh, he's just trying to go viral or something." Isn't that what she said? Would Pam talk to her outside of Fulton County? Um, those were the main things that I can think of at this moment. Joy Walker was sitting there behind Doug. I saw some people asking who was Doug. Doug was sitting behind Sean Hoover, the investigator Doug. Um, what we found out also, when we read the subpoena, Sonya was handed, she was served at 9:43. Hold on one second, let me flip to that. Sonya was served at damn 9:43 a.m. by hand. Excuse me, ma'am. Thank you, Janetta. Thank you for supporting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Charleston was not lying. Charleston was not lying. Okay? He was not lying, girl. He said he saw Shirley Strawberry sitting in the it makes you think about, okay, the Charleston White interview. It's in my playlist too. If you hadn't seen that, the information, we reacted to it, and I'm sure I dropped the link for the actual video. I can't think of the names right now, but if you go to my playlist, when Charleston White spoke on the Nesto situation, it's in my Ernest playlist. So go check it out. If you want to watch the video with no reaction, go into the description box, and I'm sure I would have shared the link in there. I love that for Sonya too. Sonya wanted to be part of this so bad. Sonya said that she was the story. So now you are officially the story. You are officially the story. I'm sure she probably didn't even see that coming. The state versus Ernest Williams 22 DA 07995. I don't know if they asked for a continuance, which we don't see any documentation of that. So I'm not saying that, Roberto. But why are they going from "we'll see you in January" to putting up a date of June of 25? Like, what is really going on? Like I said, doesn't mean that they're not going to put some dates in here somewhere, but that's crazy. Um, So this is the notice of the subpoena to Sonya. That's right there, 1219. That was the motions hearing that we just watched. This was the service for uh Natalie Fields. Okay. And if you're just now coming in, there is a court date that was put up for June, a final plea, June 10th, 2025. That's the next court date. Doesn't mean that there won't be any court dates in between. So don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not saying that there's not going to be any other court dates. Just know that that is the next court date. So I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, back to this. Um I just want to read this again. So Sonya was served. Sonya was served. This is the state's notice of service. So this is page 1, but basically this is the documentation that she got served. Okay, Sonya, you got served. Okay, via hand delivery. It's like they knew she was going to be there. So, I mean, are these phones tapped? What's really going on? Okay, you are hereby commanded that, laying all other business aside, you be and appear at Fulton County Grand Jury, Lewis R. Slayton's Courthouse to be held on January 17th, 9 a.m. in the grand jury room, and to bring with you before said grand jury certain matters to be used as evidence by the state of Georgia in the case of Georgia versus Ernest Williams. And this is the DA case. Like there's an investigation going on. 22 DA 07995. The following are hereby subpoenaed. All written and electronic communication. Last night on Nyla's channel, we talked about it. Hold on. We had quite the list going, right? This is what all of us said between the Vibers, Bougie Gang, everybody collective on the chat last night. What could they all written and electronic communications and documents of any kind in hard copy or digital form received from or on received from or on behalf of Ernest Williams, Ernest Levette Williams, Nesto, by Sonia Durham, anything that you received from her or on behalf of. Girl, if that woman's not talking to a lawyer right now, I don't know. That's not my business, but I don't know. By Sonia Durham, July 7th, the day Nesto was arrested, up until future January 14th, 2025. Okay. What was it? Could it have been any documents of any kind? The GoFundMe. GoFundMe could be something, any electronic communications and documents confirming a GoFundMe, creating a GoFundMe. GoFundMe sending you a note telling you that there were complaints and they're shutting the GoFundMe down. Someone said filter fraud or filter abuse. That's a joke. Okay. Stalking Shirley. Was she stalking Shirley? We don't know. Girl, impersonated family. She said she was his niece. The one I really feel like is very, very, very possible is legal mail. Legal mail. Her sending, and we heard there's been numerous phone calls about legal mail using a attorney's stationery, seals, envelopes, mailing it from their office, their address, their information, anything. The legal mail situation. Her manipulation of Nesto's Instagram, emails, DMs. She went through his email. Okay. Remember, she went through his email. Okay. The video of his daughter that he said proves his innocent. Okay. Her own personal investigation. Her investigation going to the bank and getting his bank records, his phone records, his iCloud records. She got a POA on his behalf. The blogger notarized his POA. Sonya, if you're in the bushes right now or you are helping Sonya, if Sonya is pulling out her ponytail and doesn't know where to start, this might be a good list, okay? And you can just thank us later, all right? Because, baby, we came up with a laundry list of things and we're not even you. And according to you, we don't even know the half. So, baby, get to work, okay? Because, girl, you could go to Bryce Street for 20 days. And I'm sure based on what Sylvia told you, Rice Street is not a place you want to be. If you don't produce those documents, baby, you're going to owe them money and you're going to owe them some time. And I don't think they're playing with you. Okay. Fannie Mae wants them papers. Okay. Girl, abusive aluminum foil. Would y'all stop? Y'all are funny. And then on top of that, she recorded her own global telling calls. I don't know. We came up with an amazing list last night because, the internet, of course, is unmatched. I firmly believe that. You talk about one mind, that's one thing, right? But But the fact when you have all of these minds and brains pulled together, you cannot match the internet. It's just impossible. It's like one huge brain, especially when it's on one particular topic. Um, that's we came up with like 20 things and they're all valid. They're all very much valid. Um, let's see. So I wonder, okay. Um, and I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if at some point she's gonna have to stop. If she talked to a, let's say, I'm okay. You guys know I'm not gonna belabor this, but you guys know I am not a lawyer. But I would imagine if she talked to an attorney today and told them that she is has a friend and he's married and he had a prominent wife and she's been dealing with him and she had a sexual relationship with him and he's now divorced but he's in jail, he's on a RICO charge in Fulton County and they just subpoenaed you and one of your cohorts has already had her Google account subpoenaed. Now they are subpoenaing yours. I wonder, so let's throw something else in there. Since they've had some time to now look through Sylvia's situation, was it just okay, now we're going to have to get Sonya's? Could this subpoena be from examining Sylvia? All written electronic communications and documentation of any kind in hard copy or digital form. Emails from Sylvia showing you the witnesses, emails from Sylvia giving you information, emails from Sylvia giving you information about bloggers, people's names, addresses. Has people been threatened? I don't know, but you have to really think outside the box of these text messages and phone calls between Sonya and Nesto. Think about the people that she has been reaching out to, people she's been talking to, his friends, his family, his people. All, all means what, guys? Everything. All written, all electronic communications, all documents of any kind in hard copy or digital form. And that means all. And that means any. Okay, I'm stressing because sometimes in these legal documents, you have to like literally word for word mean something. Any and all, written and digital, on his behalf, from or on his behalf, from him or from anyone else, received from or on behalf of, baby, that's everything. If I were her, baby, this is, I mean, look, it may or may not be serious. We don't know what's going on, but they want everything, Pen Pal. Okay? And let's read, okay? And let's read further. Herein fail not, under penalty of law, by authority of the Honorable Judge Charles M. Eaton Jr., presiding judge of the Superior Courts of Fulton County. This is not from Eric Dunaway. This is not from Eric Dunaway. This is from Charles M. Eaton Jr., presiding judge, Superior Court, Fulton County, Georgia. Okay, this is not going to Judge Eric Dunaway. This is going to the grand jury, and this is going to the judge that subpoenaed you up under Shay Alexander recorded. Okay. Subpoena issued on behalf of Fulton County Grand Jury. The grand jury is calling. Okay. You are excused from appearing before Fulton County Grand Jury on the above date and time if the subpoenaed evidence is provided prior to senior investigator blah 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 on January 15th, 2025 at 5 p.m. You have till close of business. Failure to comply with this subpoena may result in a attachment for contempt and a fine not more than $300 and not more than 20 days imprisonment pursuant to OCGA 2413-6. Let me look up OCGA 2413-6. OCGA 2413-6. When a transcript provided for a encode, let's make sure we're at the right place. OCGA, when a transcript provided for a code section 2413.5 is produced in court, if the adverse party is dissatisfied therewith and swears that he or she believes that the books contain entries material to the adverse party which do not appear in the transcript, the court shall grant him or her a commission directed to certain persons named by the parties and approved by the court. The commission shall cause the person with possession of the books to produce the books required, with the person swearing that the books produced are all that he or she has or had that answer to the description in the subpoena or notice to produce. The commission shall examine the books and transmit to the court a full and fair statement of the accounts and entries between the parties under their hand. When received by the court, the statement of the commission shall be deemed a compliance with the notice to produce or subpoena the production of evidence. They're investigating these people. This is not, this is like, baby. huh, uh so there's something, hold on. Let me show you this. So this is 2413-6, produce when adverse parties dissatisfied with response pursuant to. So I don't know. There's something, they're clearly not done with their investigation. That's what I'm gonna say. As far as is what I don't know. But there's something that they are not satisfied, or some sort of answer that they feel like they need, that lies within something that Sonya has and something that Sonya needs to bring to the table. And that's what's going on. Joey, if you're still here, I'm gonna drop the link for you to come up, sir. If you want to talk about it. Joey always gives us such good info. Hold on. Um Oh, and it's Friday, coincidentally. Hey Tanika, what's going on? What are we talking? Girl, Sonya, Nesto's boo thing. Girl, she got subpoenaed. Yes, 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 yes. And we're trying to figure out, baby, what are they calling her? What are they calling her to the altar for? Guys, if you don't know Tanika's 2 cents, get into it. Tanika is a doll. And Tanika is over there talking true crime. So if you don't know Tanika, get with our girl, Tanika 2 cents. Okay. Um, Joey, are you still out there? Glorious was like this morning. That was so funny with Karen. If you guys wanted to, Tanika, thank you, babe. You guys, thank you. Tanika just gifted 5 friends, guys. Look at that. Okay. My other screen has to catch up. Tanika gifted some friends. Okay. Thank you for gifting some friends. Okay. Gabby girl. Girl, see, Tanika, look at that. Look at Al. Look at Al. Won't he do it? That algorithm, baby. He said you drop 5 memberships and you gonna get one. Okay, sis. Okay. You gifted some friends and you got gifted by Al. Al said not today. He said, no, you gonna get one of these. Okay. What you meant for others, I'm gonna give it right to you. Okay. Tanika got a membership. Gabby got a membership. Black Rose got a membership. Rose on Earth got a membership. And Roxy got a membership. Okay, Attitude and Tylenol. Thank you, boo. She better sing like Beyonce in front of that grand jury. Her bowels can't handle incarceration. And I don't think they serve Alfredo at Rice Street. Y'all are a mess. Okay. Bless you, boo boo. Portia's over there sneezing. Seems like me an impossible task. Do you imagine? Do you imagine? That's where you basically have to get a I mean, to me, I don't know if Janetta's on. Yeah, Janetta's on deck. Um, it seems like to me it it's time to call a lawyer. Like, I don't know. Personally, I'd be like, I'm calling a lawyer. Joey, would you call a lawyer?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Would you call a
Okay.
lawyer, sir?
Say your question again, Fran. I think I missed you. I think I
Would
missed it.
you, if you got that subpoena, would you think, I mean, would you call a lawyer? Would you
Uh,
already be on the phone with legal counsel?
yes, and I think that this is my professional opinion. I think, believe it or not, I think this is a result of her going on the Big Jeff show, and she made some statements which drew attention, as opposed to
Hmm.
her being a sideshow. I think that kind of now she's more of a person of interest now. They want to pull in what she actually knows.
Yeah.
So
What do you know? What do you know? Yeah.
so I think that because they could have been done this. This could have been
Yeah.
they could have done this a long time ago. But I think that she she made herself visible, she became a target, and she got hit. So uh, and she's been pushing the envelope the entire time, but she's been staying, but it's been kind of under the surface. It's just been kind of in the blogs, and but now that the again the uh,
She attached herself to a very visible situation, even though Big Jeff's show is not.
no,
It's kind of got a little cult following. It's it's a little niche program, but she
it
attached herself to a very
it
big
it's
case.
it's not. And this case has become again because and we have talked about what I think about Fulton County. It's really group. It's the game that can't shoot straight. But this is uh, but this case has become the case. The other cases were bad cases, but this is the case that they're going to try to actually they're going to work this case. This is a strong case, so they're gonna work this, and they're gonna make and they're gonna
Yeah.
really they're gonna pull all the stops, and so she is part of that. So she like get ready for the ride because it's coming.
Oh yeah. Do you agree that based on okay, so we heard Sean's argument, we saw his motion, a couple months ago. Based on the way Will laid things out, I do feel like he engaged enough probable cause for probable cause. I can't say to the legalities that what was done improperly because I really need to re-listen to that portion. What do you think just on the outset of Will walking Natalie through how Nesto was identified as a not just a warrant to pick up, but that there was more there?
Uh, that's a prosecutor, so they're gonna paint. I mean, they're gonna do their story. There is, I think there's some efficacy in the defense that there wasn't any probable cause to search the vehicle. Like I've said before, Mr. Williams has suffered from a series of not so good lawyers. I don't know why his attorneys haven't really done much to help him. I don't know what's going on with that, but I think that his current defense is putting up some pretty valid points. So we're going to see how, what the rulings on those are. I think that I have unfortunately, I believe that the judges are going back to allow that evidence, and now they have to kind of do their homework to justify it. But I kind of agree that there was no probable cause to really go in there and look into his.
But is this a distraction though? Because Will Wooten has stated on numerous occasions that his case is not necessarily built on the vehicle search and the events that surround the vehicle search.
That's not true. That's not true. Most of the evidence that you have, a lot of the evidence that you have, if it's just the financial crimes, came from the vehicle search. A lot of that information came out of his bag, and he had documents and things like that. So a lot of that stuff that did come from that search. So that's not. I don't think that's not
100% true. Okay,
correct.
So you feel like there were some documents that supported.
Correct, which led them, which allowed them to go into other areas.
Which
for example,
allowed them to go further. The case was developing, but it allowed them to expand and get a further depth of knowledge. I get what you're saying. Do you think Dunaway? So I'm not saying so. And
the warrant was for him. You had him under custody. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. Again, the police would have to explain to me, why would you not allow him to have somebody pick up the vehicle? Because you're being arrested for basically not paying rent, some financial crime. That's pretty much it. It just seems a little odd to me that they did that, and I think they wanted to go into that vehicle. They wanted to search that vehicle. It appears. I mean, this is what I think. It appears they created a scenario in which they could do that, and they took what information they got from that vehicle, and then they expanded. They started calling people, and if you've been taken advantage of by him, and a policeman calls you and said, allegedly, and a policeman calls you and says, "Hey, my name is Officer So and So. Do you know this man? Have you had any contact with him? Any financial issues with him?" People are going to start talking. So I think that's a very valid line of defense. Again, I think if you had the YSL lawyers, I think they could probably, if he had the YSL lawyers very early on, they probably could have ran that to ground and made some of that stick. Some of that information, some of that evidence could be thrown out. And it's prove the poison tree. And but there's enough standalone stuff for him anyway. I mean, you don't need the truck stuff, but I think he particularly wants that truck stuff. The case wouldn't be as
voluminous. The case might not be as voluminous as it is with what they had without the vehicle search. I hear you.
Or as salacious. So that's and because absolutely right, yes. And because we know what was found in the truck. Again, if you're looking for drugs, how am I looking in your laptop for drugs? How do I turn on a laptop looking for drugs? Last laptop I look at one every day. When I turn it on, drugs don't. It doesn't spit out drugs. Right. So that's not necessarily so. But
let me ask you this: couldn't they have just asked Shirley, like when they know that that's the car that's registered to Shirley? Hey, Miss Strawberry, we just arrested your husband, and we have him over here at Roswell. He's going to go to Fulton County. We have the truck is in a lot. We have some questions. Would you give us permission to search your car? Is that doable?
That is doable. I mean, that is something they can do.
Why do you think they didn't do that? That would have been. Is that like just? Am I being too like? Am I just a mom talking about crime? Like, is that too simplistic?
I think
why did they just ask the owner of the vehicle?
Because the owner of the vehicle at that point in time would say no. No, you don't have, you don't have, why would you,
You
I need my
just
lawyer.
arrested my husband. What's going on?
Why would you need to search? Why, so and she wasn't in possession of the vehicle at the time. So you wouldn't
Hmm.
necessarily call somebody a second party to do that. And
Okay.
again, probable cause, if he were on a felony warrant for drugs or guns or something like, yeah, I can understand you searching the vehicle because you're trying to make sure there's nothing there, safe, whatever. But just because you didn't pay rent and you rented a house, you haven't paid the rent, you've got cars in the driveway. People don't pay rent all the time. There's an eviction process for that. It doesn't matter what you have in the driveway. And to go and arrest you, now again, I think there's a few other that I think maybe the Scretchen had filed her case by then, had filed her complaint by then, so they had him on that, but he wasn't driving that vehicle. He wasn't in that vehicle.
Well,
So
someone's saying the cars were stolen. The motorcycles, there were two Harley Davidsons that had been reported stolen, and there was the Rolls Royce that was in repo.
okay,
The property owner said that that they hadn't moved in and there were some items in there. Didn't Natalie go in and see that there were stamps and seals and documents
for
and
what
there were
I
some things going on?
for what I understood, that was uh, I thought that was at Erica's house.
So he gave so the landlord at Nesto's, let's just say the property that was leased under Nesto's
Hmm.
had no one had moved in and there were cars parked in front. The property leased by Erica King was where the Zoom occurred during the dispossessory. And Nesto, when they took the screenshots, Nesto was clearly visible in a second floor office that was in that particular home. And also, when he was arrested, let's just that too, when he asked for the phone numbers, he asked for his lawyer, Erica King. So it's almost like he implicated himself too in that because Erica King has now been convicted of crimes associated with use identity theft and practicing law without a license or whatever, all of her the felonies that she acquired for all of these
Right,
shenanigans with Nesto. So
right.
and they have him on I'm assume that the interviews they were listed on the discovery have him asking for Shirley's phone number and his lawyer Erica, and then I guess he tried to clean it up later and say, well, that's his friend or something like that. But he clearly asked for her and said she was his lawyer, and he was using her as such.
His defense is that she was my lawyer. I did not know she was not a real lawyer. That's going to be his defense.
But how could you not know when she's filing papers for you
I,
under April Holloway?
I
How
am. That's going to be his defense. Now, again, that's the defense. That doesn't mean it's the truth. But his
right.
defense is it's that I thought she was an actual lawyer. And again, Erica, in my mind, having talked to her and having looked her in the eye, which is really the mastermind, is really the smart person in this, out of this group. So uh, she got a great deal. Like I said, somebody said she's smarter than him, but she most certainly is. And so that's how I
But
see
she
it.
got a great deal with like 57 felonies. I'm being facetious,
Right.
but she's got like, what was it? It was somewhere between like 13 and 16. We'll have to look at her sentencing document again and a very long didn't she has probation and
Correct.
she has double
Right.
digit felonies.
Right. But she's state's evidence, and she's a technician. She's better at lawyering than they are. They're going to use her to learn what she knows,
Right.
because there's more of these kind of uh, affinity scams going on in Atlanta than
Right.
and more of these finesse scams going on. And so they're trying to learn. They're going to learn from her how these things happen, how this works. She's much more valuable as a in the position that she's in to the pro to law enforcement in general than being in jail. She's much more valuable that way.
Let me ask you this. Did you see when we talked about that arrest affidavit where, or maybe it was a warrant, excuse me. It was a warrant where they noted it was updated almost like a year later with the G-Wagon on it and noted that there was a change, that there was a fraudulent VIN number, that the
I
VIN
saw that.
number that was on there was not the VIN number. This is the actual VIN number, and it was the G-Wagon that Nesto had given Shirley.
Right. Well, see, now that is so now that opens up another line of questioning. So where did you get the G-Wagon from? Where did it come from? Who sold it to you? So
Right. And that
there's
might
a
be the key that they're contesting because he's worried about that key. That key to the Mercedes was the G-Wagon that had the faulty VIN.
is it the same G-Wagon that Shirley was
I think
driving?
so.
So
That was
then,
the G-Wagon she had. That was
right,
he had just bought her that G-Wagon with Gail Bickham's money.
money,
Was it
right.
Gail Bickham? Yeah,
After
Gail
Gail Bickham,
Bickham.
after he had sold the motor coach and her car. So
Yes.
the
Mhm.
next line, the next question is, okay, so where did you purchase this vehicle with a bad VIN? Who sold you this vehicle? Was
Right.
this vehicle, did this vehicle have a legitimate VIN when you bought it and you changed it, or was it like that when you got it? Because
Mhm.
if the VIN was bad when you purchased it, then that guy, that opens up a line of there's a line of inquiry into that. Is there
Mhm.
some kind of vehicle laundering scam going on out here? Who sold you this vehicle? So there's things going on and on and on and on. This opens up the peeling back the layers of this onion is gonna be a long time coming.
Can I say this too? Do you remember, which I was saying this to everybody, there was a phone call where her and Nesto were talking about something and Nesto was mulling over should he buy who was Sonya talking to? There was a conversation somewhere, some point this year where Sonya was saying that Nesto was trying to figure out like maybe it was Nestor talking to Sonya about buying Shirley the car, and he didn't know whether he should buy it for her. And I think he had even talked to Sonya about it before he purchased the vehicle. And that, you really can't afford it, you can't afford it, or you shouldn't buy it, or whatever the case might be. Like Sonya has really almost really created a space for her to actually almost now be involved. Cause she
She
said things low key that almost like do you want to be in this? Like, not just her interference and her relationship with Sylvia and everything that's happened. I'm talking about like the foundational of some of this criminal enterprise that he's having a conversation with you about purchasing a car that turns out to be a car with phony VINs and that's on police reports. Like, you know what I'm saying?
right. So oh yeah, Mixtress Monica. I've been here. I've been out. I've been out in the world doing what I do, but I've been around. The
Okay.
I I haven't gone anywhere. I'm gonna always be here.
Aw,
The
thank you, Joey. Joey is bougie gang, 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 guys.
yeah. One of these
He
days you
might
get to
just
see
be in
me,
the
maybe.
bushes.
I
Huh?
am in the bushes. In the bushes.
In
I'm
the
in the bushes.
bushes. Joey in the
The
bushes.
yeah, that's where I work best, I guess. That's where I
We
belong.
know
The
you're, that we know that you're in the bushes. It's okay. That's
the
what makes it so fun is that you come to talk to us and it makes it special because you're not here all the time. It's
well,
okay.
I kind of talk when I have something to say. The
Absolutely. And we appreciate that.
yeah, yeah, that's what I've seen so far. I think that Nesto and her had some just conversations when he was, and you never can trust what he tells her. He tells Sonya things that are not necessarily true, and she runs with it. So you never
Mhm.
know. Uh, and but yeah, I am. But this case is this case is going to become the case du jour down at Fulton County, seeing that every other case has fallen apart, and this is the one they're going to hang their hats on. And it's got everything. It's got everything you want in it. It's salacious. It's got celebrity, uh, and it's kind of like the Peter Thomas.
Mhm.
Peter Thomas and Ernesto are kind of on the same, kind of two of the same coin, two sides of the same coin. They're kind of finessers. I don't know why people. I guess they look. I guess we have to stop looking at what people are and start looking at who they are
Right.
because it seems to be these guys, these good-looking guys, and they just seem to just run through folks. And it's by the time you figure out that some shenanigans have happened, it's pretty too late. So yeah, we got to be careful with that.
So
Um,
what do you think about, okay, so regarding the subpoena, you definitely, Sonya's in some trouble, and do you think it's a task, it's a like it's just a an un when I read that subpoena, even though it's only just a couple of lines, it's everything. They are asking for everything that is from or has to do with her dealings or dealings for, on behalf, anything regarding Nesto. And that's been her life for the past 2.5 years. They want it all. And they
well,
want it on the 15th of January. What do you like?
what
What do you think about that? That's crazy,
what
right?
no, what I think is, first of all his devices were down was all his devices have been downloaded by law enforcement prior to her getting them.
Mhm.
As he's talking, remember, as he's texting her and sending her passcodes and passwords, uh, law enforcement sees that too.
Yes. No, I know.
So they get it at the same time. So I suspect that, I think she went on she probably deleted some things. And so they're asking her to produce some things. There's some information that she may have gotten that she's holding on to herself, and they're just asking the question. So uh, what will be interesting is if the caveat that if you turn these things over, you don't have to appear before the grand jury. It's kind of interesting. Um, I I I don't think she could hold up in a grand jury. I think she'd just fall apart. I don't think she would be able to. I've seen her on Tasha K. I've seen her on these various talking to people, and she doesn't. When she's under the lights, she doesn't seem to know anything. She starts. Uh, she's not very quick on her feet. She just kind of starts falling apart and saying
She
things that she shouldn't
clams
say.
up.
So yeah, she really does. So I don't know what she would tell him. She needs a lawyer. Give up whatever information or whatever she has, because and I would just, I mean, let it go at that. But it's odd they're doing. But again, they're doing that now. They could have done this a long time ago. But I think they may have let her just kind of go because he was talking, and they were waiting to see if he would give up anything
Well,
else.
they have more time now. They've
Yeah.
cleared a lot of YSL has been cleared. Like they've cleared some things off of their desk and there's time now. Maybe they have some time and opportunity, or I don't know. Maybe they've just, or she said one too many things, and
No.
and Fonny's like, get her. I mean, also keep in mind they did subpoena Sylvia's Google account. So is there anything that they found in Sylvia's Google that made them want to get Sonia's everything?
It,
There's been a
it,
lot. There's been kind of like, I mean, I wouldn't say I forgot about it. I just wasn't thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, but they got Sylvia's Google. Maybe there's some interactions between her and Sylvia that they now want to know more about what's going on in Sonia's situation. What were you doing?
that's
Because
true.
Meta, so Instagram and Bank of America and Truist, because I was looking through the text messages this morning, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, in at that time I was with Truist Bank, or not Truist, maybe he said Truist. He said at that time I was with this bank, or that time I was with this bank." He was giving her a lot of information in 2022 and all along to go and look up some of his things. So a lot of that is in the text messages. I mean, I'm looking at it. They don't really need her to give them the global tel link emails, but I wonder what they are looking from her is maybe her interactions with some of his people.
It could
So
be. It could be a
daughters,
number. Right. It
his
could be a number of things.
sisters, any of them,
Right.
SunTrust, thank you.
Right. It could be a number of things. So, but she'll present that, and the grand jury. And it's funny. It's in front of a grand jury. It grand jury for what? Is there another charge coming down the line?
That's what I'm saying. Like this should have been, I mean, either it's still ongoing or there's something else that has now popped up.
I think there's something else going on. I think there's something else happening.
So what's the risk in this ongoing investigation rather than okay, this is the case that we've got and we're going to go ahead and button this up, tie this up with a red bow and push it out and let's get this litigated rather than the continuous long cuz we don't want to see another YSL. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, maybe we do, maybe we don't.
That's
But
the problem
another
with
very yeah,
that's
go
the
ahead.
problem with doing everything under RICO is that it is a long, drawn out, laborious process because you're making all these very tenuous connections to everything else. So as opposed to just simply bringing them in, you did this, we're going to try you for this, guilty or innocent, hammer comes down, and that's that. So yeah, this is going to be a very long, unfortunately, a very long process, and it's going to get more and more media attention as the more notable people are pulled into it. So,
Some
and
I had people in my comments the other day saying that this nobody's interested in this.
no,
Nobody wants and I beg to differ because this is a very juicy case. Um and scamming is like a number one annoyance for people who have been scammed and potential scam victims out here. So I do think this is a big case. I definitely agree with you.
yeah, it is going to be. Yeah, it's got in Atlanta, it's got everything that you want. It's got some celebrity, it's got some finessing,
Thank you, Tika.
it's got all the pieces and parts that make it interesting. So when they start actually having the trial, I think that courtroom will be for the most part packed or have a considerable audience in there.
What do you think about this date, this final plea date in June? Was that
It
a
could be a
mistake?
it could be a placeholder. Uh, for all we know, could be an administrative placeholder.
Because he said it would be in this trial cycle. Do you think that the hearing from the other day could have changed some things? Like, do you think that based on what he heard on Wednesday made him rethink, oh, it'll be in this trial cycle?
Anything's possible. I don't know. Again, I just think I think it's, I think it's just a placeholder for now. Um, so we will see what happens in January because nothing's going to happen December. Nothing's going to happen in December. So we'll just keep watching and
Yeah,
see what the dates
we're
are.
done for now.
Yes, see
But
what
he
happens
said
in
something about like
January.
after the holiday, right? So the
Right,
6th or the
right,
7th. That's why I was looking to see like, okay, when are they coming back? When because he made it seem like it was gonna be like the first Monday after break. And I saw June. I was like, what?
right. So yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, just wait and see. That's a little premature now. So I think that's just kind of a placeholder for now.
Just a placeholder.
Yeah.
Um, so what did you think about hmm what's on the what kind of surprised you? I don't know that I was really surprised Natalie Fields was coming to testify. I think it made sense. Um, was this a shocker hearing
No.
Sonya being subpoenaed, or was it just kind of like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I figured that was going to happen eventually. Like, were you
It.
shocked, or were you just kind of like, uh huh?
I don't think I was shocked as much as I get. Well, I was surprised, but my surprise is why now? That you could have done this. This could have happened a year ago, 6 months ago, while you're
Okay,
prepping
so
for
the
your.
timing,
So the
the
timing is just kind
timing.
of, and I do think that time, and I believe it. My opinion is, I think it's tied to the Big Jeff show. I think that you've come on the line, you've made yourself known, and so now we're gonna touch you up a little bit.
Because
And
they're watching everything. There's somebody watching
correct,
this right now.
correct. So I think that did it. So they're gonna bring her in and now that she's had this, my question is, does that isolate him? So now she's been subpoenaed. Does she just cut off all communication with him? Period. So now he has no outlet, no communication with anyone.
I think, so my unprofessional opinion in the matter is if she does engage a lawyer is going to tell her, like, I can't give you the best result. I can't help you unless you stop communicating. Because I mean, really and truly, she's not his wife. So it's not like it's someone like he or she could say, well, I don't, I'm not going to cut you off from your husband, but you guys need to keep it very much not on topic and don't say anything about anything or maybe just write letters for right now. This is just quote unquote, according to Sonya, just a friend. So um I think a
And I
lawyer would
wish
tell
I
them
wish she would
immediately to cease communication. No more visits, no more phone calls, you're done.
and I wish she would stop telling that lie. I mean, that drives me nuts more than anything else. Um,
They're just a friend. She
just a
says she's just
friend.
a friend,
I just
but she's got what he needs. And she
just
says she's
it
just a friend.
it just
Ah!
yeah it just you
R.I.P. to the Bismarck. Okay,
yeah
I had to do
just
it because she always says she's just a friend. And
yeah
she's not just a friend.
by now you have to know that the world has read and seen and heard that you're not. So you would think that she would right that ship and just be honest about something. Uh, give yourself a little bit of credibility. But
I
but
don't
no.
want to see. So, someone saying Nesto is human and he needs the interaction. He absolutely does from outside of his day to day kind of Groundhog Day existence in that jail. But I hate to say it, he did it to himself as many times as he could have said, Sonya, stop. As many times as he could have said, I gotta go. The minute that she starts on a rant, he could have easily said, I gotta go. It's pill call, it's trays. I'll talk to you later. At a certain point, she'd realize, you know what? Every time I bring something up, he hangs up the phone on me. Or he says he's gotta go. Like it's not just her ranting, it's him sitting there and listening to it on phone calls and on video calls. So at a certain point, it's going to be his fault that he allowed this, and he's already in jail anyway, so it doesn't make much of a difference to him other than he's not getting out. It prolongs his stay at Chateau Cobb, but now Sonya probably really needs to get a lawyer.
Yeah,
I mean, if she
I'm
doesn't get one, that's her business. I don't care.
I
Her
think she
business.
probably I think she does. And again, there's some questions going to be asked. What have you seen? What did you know? I mean, so again, we will have to see what the outcome of this subpoena will be. But yeah, he's the reason he hasn't cut Sonya off is because he has no one. And from the minute he went into jail, he has operated in a very unusual way. Uh, so and yeah, and it's again, it's hard to be to me it's hard to be in jail when you're trying to not let people know that you're in jail, when you're trying to work yourself out of a bad situation, but not let people know that you're in, not let people that can help you know what's going on by only giving them kind of half the story or part of the story. Or and so I think Shirley expended a lot of resources without really maybe she knew, maybe she just didn't want to know. I don't know, but just basic questions that I think that she probably should have asked. She didn't, and she allowed him to do things that quite frankly I don't know any woman that any woman that would, but she allowed him to do it and get away with it. So now he's where he is. Hmm.
Okay, so what was next? They said that they wanted to how did they close things? I need to go back and finish up whenever Dunaway said that he wasn't going to rule on it right away, that he was going to think was he basically did they close their arguments? Did Sean finish up because I need to go back and finish watching that side. Because like I said, after the body cam footage, I was kind of like, I had already zoned out a little bit. And I remember Dunaway saying that he wasn't going to rule on it right away. Um, so what do you think is next?
I think we have you have a few more cycles of this. This is the administrivia before the court, before the actual trial.
Oh,
So
the
there's a,
pretrial,
yeah,
still
pre-trial stuff. So
pretrial.
this is the stuff that's kind of, this is making the sausage prior to, it's like, sausage or legislation. This is before anything happens. So there may be one or two more court dates like this. So I mean, it's so just be prepared for that before anything really, uh, before we start getting down into the real trial, and they set a trial date. Because again,
Yeah.
the next one, the judge has to come back, and like I said, he's going to have to say what is admissible, what is not. You can't. We're going to throw these out. We're going to keep them, and have to basically justify why, and why you keep them, why you can't keep them, and then lawyers have to go back to their prospective corners and rework their cases based on that, and then they have to get ready for an actual trial. So yeah.
Did
So
you watch Big Jeff's podcast?
I watched. I again, some of this stuff, it kills brain cells. I can't watch too much of it,
Mm-hmm.
because I lose. Uh, but what I did watch was, I watched some of Sonya. She didn't really
Mm-hmm.
say much. She was just sitting in a corner, kind of in like a little dark hole. I don't. It just kind of weird what she was even doing there. And but I think she just drew attention to herself. I think that by showing up on his show, and you have a very visible, again, there's some politics in this. Big Jeff is, was going after current DA and saying things, and here comes this other person popping up. You just drew attention to yourself. It was really not a very, I don't know who. I think the Bible lady got her on that show. I think these
Yeah.
people they're not helping themselves. I think that they think that they're helping, but they're not. They really aren't.
Sonya is going anywhere she thinks is a quick win for Nesto, but
But
she's
it's
not
not.
going to the
But
quick, she's not going to the appropriate wins.
no,
She's going to, she's not going, like, I don't have anything against Mr. Jeff, Young Thug's dad, but this is a video that got 4,000 views. Now people did watch it on other channels, so other content creators use that content. So of course the footprint is greater than 3.8K views. However, it just this is this I don't know whatever Sonya was thinking, and then she mixed it with whatever Sylvia's thinking. This is not trying to go the political prisoner, the unjust Nesto the victim is not going to be the route of justice that she thinks it's going to be to try to help him.
it's not.
Like
And again,
that type of advocacy is not going to help him.
but again, she's not advocating. She's actually making his case. I
She
would almost
thinks
say
she's advocating.
she's
She
not.
thinks
She's making the case for the prosecution most of the time. she's actually hurting him by doing that. She actually is hurting him.
I know, but I think in her mind, by calling out certain things, she thinks she's like dropping the mic on something like, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that, da, 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 da. And it's absolutely not helping him. But you can't tell her she's not helping him.
I think she's attracted. She likes the attention, and and that's, again, it's a very, 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 very bad thing that she likes this attention that she's getting, and she's not helping him. And I don't know if Mr. Williams knows that. I don't know if he really, he can't see he
No,
can't
he
see the
doesn't know.
landscape, so he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I think he thinks
So
she's some sort of bossy boss chick. He likes her tenacity, the tenacity. So in some ways, Sonya comes off very tenacious. In some ways, she comes off very low self esteem, lacking confidence. when she's on her A game of popping her shit, he's very attracted to her. And I think he thinks that she's a boss and they can do things, and she's out there fighting the good fight of trying to help him get out when he doesn't really realize she's a fucking idiot. And I'm just going to say that's just what I think. I think she comes off as idiotic, but he thinks she comes off like boss chick, and she's
She
just
does,
not.
but that's her skill. Her skill is her mouth. She talks a good game, but she really can't produce or do it. And that's the problem with her. And she has somehow been able to, that's what got her into Nesto. Again, I think that she was scamming, she was conning him, he was trying to con her for whatever they were going
It's
to
like
get.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. If any of you
Right.
guys have never seen that movie, everybody was conning everybody. And they all kind of found out at the same time, like, wait a second, you're a con man? Wait, you're a con man? Oh no. Like it's one big cluster.
It's a mess. So that's, yeah, but her that's her skill set is her mouth. She talks a good game, but she really can't. If you notice everything she's done, here's a tell. Everything she's ever done, she's always done it with a partner. What has she actually done by herself? It's always, I had a partner.
Well,
I had a
according to
partner.
her dad, nothing. Nothing.
Correct.
If
I don't
if
sound anything
Sonya
like
were the
Crail.
businesswoman and were doing anything that she was supposed, anything that she has kind of told the internet that she would never have made that remark that her father had to tell her about business opportunities out here, and that there's not like nothing coming in between her and making certain money and being successful, which told me right there she had not been. So if that's what your father told you, then you haven't been doing anything. And all of the failure to launch that we have seen and heard over the past couple of years was absolutely accurate. And you really hadn't done anything. So
Yeah.
she's just been a whole. Do you think that there's anything concerning about this child? I know that that's not really part of this conversation, but um this random kid that is in the mix, that we've been hearing this baby for a long time. The baby is the child of someone that works with her daughter. We don't know what the legal situation is, but I mean, I feel like she has definitely, by exposing herself to Nesto, she's put a tremendous target on her back, because they can find her easily if they really want to. They just have to follow her home from Cobb County one day if they don't know where she lives. And at the end of the day, there's a child out here who just seems to be, I guess she's kind of like a long-term babysitter,
Right.
but
And again,
the child could be at risk. Like, it's weird.
I mean, I don't know. We don't know that. I mean, for a fact. But again, you've opened yourself up to have somebody look under your hood. Somebody's looking under your skirts now. So
Okay,
you never
yeah.
know what they're gonna. You never know what they're gonna find. And you know. And I don't know if she can really, if she really needs that in her life. I don't think she does. I don't think anybody does. So just I get through the subpoena, and she probably needs to just kind of sit down and shut up and let this process go.
All right,
How
Joey,
it's going to go.
let me ask you this. Legal mail. Tell me about this legal mail fiasco or situation that they have going on, where Sonya has said on numerous occasions she's sending him legal mail. If she still has stationery for a lawyer she worked for, um, or whatever, she's got the ability to send him things under the guise of legal mail. Talk to us about that and what effect that could have on
I mean,
Mr. Williams.
if that is true, that's problematic. I don't think that that's true. I don't think she's doing that. I think she's
She
got
said
a.
she sent him legal mail numerous times.
She says a lot of things, but we haven't seen it.
Did you get the package I sent you?
Remember,
She's
she's
said before she even knew we were listening, she's sent him pictures. She's like, no, I sent it to you under legal mail. You're going to get that. When he first got to Cobb County, she was asking him if he got the package before he left Fulton County. And that I guess it would get returned if he wasn't there, or they would forward it. And then he said he ended up getting it and it was legal mail. And she has continued to elude, not even elude. I sent you X, Y, and Z. You should be getting some legal mail.
It could be anything. It could be a basic power of attorney. I mean, it could be anything. So again, we these are the things that we're going to find out in this subpoena, in the discovery part. We're going to find out
I just wonder if that's
if
one of the
anything.
things
It,
that
it could
they're,
it could be, but
we don't know.
we don't know. And think about this. Think about this. Your paramour is in custody for legal falsehoods. So
Fuckery.
I am going to I'm going to do some of the same stuff with him while he's behind bars myself, knowing that I'm being watched and knowing that things are going to, I don't. But again, I've been wrong before. I thought she was
Well,
smarter than she is, but
last week we talked about a case in Miami, a woman who just got convicted $20 million by the feds doing like some bogus loans. And after she got caught, she continued and started a whole nother enterprise while she was in Fed custody. She continued on. She couldn't even stop. And she continued on and started a whole nother set of businesses. So if she can, if someone, and I mean, this obviously Sonya is not this chick, because that woman was obviously on something a whole nother level. But it's, I mean,
Sonya's not that smart. Sonya's
she's
not
not that
Erica.
smart.
No, Sonya's not Erica. Erica, yeah. Sonya, no.
Erica,
Sonya is not that bright. Sonya talks like she knows. She's basically said that she's is there any proof that she's a
nothing.
paralegal? Is there any proof she's a paralegal? Have we seen anything?
She's not a certified or licensed. She is someone who got trained to do certain things in an office.
Okay, so that's not an actual paralegal.
No.
All right, so but she's made that statement multiple times. She's on Big Jeff
That
saying
she's a paralegal.
And again, these are things that are very easy to verify. Why would you lie about something that someone can simply verify? Why would you do that?
I don't know. We should ask Erica King that. Why would you lie about being a lawyer and you're
Well,
not? Why would you lie about being a real estate
Well,
agent?
because Erica King had everything else she had the entire system to back that up. And apparently she had been working she'd been doing that for years and had been going and representing, at least him in court on a number of occasions. Not saying it's right, but anyway, I just
got away with it. She got away with it for a period of time. Yes, absolutely.
And I don't think Erica King ever got on a show and said, "By the way, I'm a lawyer," with showing her face. Although she did do it actually on Zoom at court.
Can you believe it?
Which is worse. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to find out.
So what do you think is the biggest takeaway? What did you think about the body cam footage? Was it did you get a little?
No, it's just a normal arrest. It's how arrests go. So I didn't see anything particularly odd about that, other than he just wasn't expecting that. But no one is. Very few people are expecting
Ernest
that.
Williams? Yes. Oh, you know who I am? How do you know who I am?
Are you there?
Were there any ahas for you? I'm sorry, I was on mute. Were there any ahas? Like, was there anything that you gleaned from were you there?
I was not there.
You were not in the gallery. Okay. Was there anything that you found interesting?
Or maybe I was.
Or out of, okay. You can neither confirm nor deny. And that's okay. I respect that. Were there any aha moments for you? And if so, what were they? No,
I knew this was. I knew this was.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be the administrative piece, so I understood that. I knew that when they scheduled it. So it wasn't my intent to really pay much attention to this one, because again, like I said, it's going to be a couple of cycles of this to get this kind of resolved. And I'm glad
I
to
felt
see
like
he
at least
has.
it was some progress. I felt
I,
like it
I'm,
at
I'm
least was progress.
I am glad to see that he has defense actually fighting, starting to fight for him, starting to actually.
Right.
Because I honestly, I'm a big justice guy, and I don't like to see. I mean, the rights of the accused. You have to, I like to see someone who's
Well, we want to
defending.
see a fair
No
fight,
one's no
right?
one has the because there could be absolute, complete logical explanations for all of this, and I just want to hear what Mr. Williams has to say. He has a this is not what you think it is, and this is what it actually is, and I want to know what it is so I can sleep good at
Look,
night.
if they could come with the smoking gun and explain it all, I'd be like, oh my, okay, okay.
You know?
I mean, I don't have I don't have a dog in the fight. I
Yeah.
think it's very interesting, and I like that this is a very juicy story. And if his lawyers are skilled to the point where he actually win some rounds or whatever the case, however this turns out, it turns out. I don't care. Like it's not gonna bother me one way or the other. I do think that it's better for it to be fair and for him to fairly get whatever he gets, whether he gets exonerated or he gets convicted of a crime. At least he had decent enough attorneys and he had people show up to help him state his case, and he got an opportunity. And then, at the end of that, then he also has an appeal process if he were convicted, right? So at least he has a fair shot at getting his freedom and getting his day in court. So, I mean, you
Right.
don't want to see
Right.
someone suffer and not have adequate legal representation. So I'm glad
Right.
Roberto's there doing his job. Good for
In
him.
the in the end, we want justice. So
Absolutely.
that's what we're really trying to
Absolutely.
get. What is just? And I want the court. I want the victims. I want people to come in and kind of tell the story and tell us how these things happened. How did you go from this to this? How did this happen? Because there's a lot to be learned from that, and people should pay attention because good or bad, it will help save a lot of folks a lot of heartache later on down the line. So just kind of tell us how this walk the dog on this. How did we go from Starbucks to being stranded on the side of the road in a decommissioned ambulance?
Right.
Uh,
Absolutely.
how did that process happen? Um,
And you're a
how
professional
you're
teacher. Like
professional,
you
right?
are a teacher. And the real estate agent, like it's not to shame. Absolutely. I
No,
mean, there are a lot of women who do well for themselves who seem to have a soft spot to unfortunately be taken advantage of. And it's good that there are people who are willing to say, hey, I was taken advantage of, and this is how it happened, because you don't want to seem like you're not caring or you're not trying to give back. And then there's a school of thought of, can't you help a brother out and help me get to where you're at? I mean, it is okay for someone to earn their way. You don't have to help everybody, and helping isn't always helping them to a Mercedes.
right?
Um, so I don't know. I mean, I am interested in hearing that testimony
Yeah,
from people who separated themselves from, and it's not to make fun. It's to hear. We want to hear the story.
correct,
Very
correct.
this is concerning.
Correct. And Erica will tell and Erica will tell, and I believe Erica will testify. They will depose her on the stand. They will certainly, she'll testify, and you can hear how she played into it. Although I think Erica's going to basically say that she didn't have. I'm just I just work here, but
I
her
feel
her
like
her
the
portion is going to be interesting.
I feel like them introducing. So, what was the outcome on the intrinsic evidence? Are they going far back, or they threw that out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So
That's a good
let's
question. I
just
don't know.
say they have the intent to submit all of kind of like his, let's say if he had two chapters of his criminal career, intrinsic evidence would have been like the early days. So let's just say they go back to a certain point and they can pick up like, okay, when did you and Nesto meet? what was the first job? Like, what was the first time you did business? Or what was the first, how did you two get started? Tell us, do you think that they're going to do that? Will they, to set the groundwork of how
Sure
did
they
you
will.
two meet and what was the first job you guys did? And did you realize that what you were doing was illegal, or um what made you
I think they'll ask. They will ask those kind. They will paint that kind of picture. That word picture will come out. That they're
okay.
gonna walk you through the process. How did you,
I
how
I
did you meet,
cannot wait.
and what did he, and how, and tell, it's kind of it's the typical, they will work that through. And again, some of this we have not heard Mr. Williams's version of any of this. We don't know what his version is. We've heard Sonya make some. Uh, we've heard Sonya's kind of take on things, but that's not what. But that's not what Mr. Williams's take is going to be. I would love for him to go on the stand, but we know that's not going to happen. So I just want to hear what his version of things are. I'm sure it's going to be pretty much, very much in the, we were business partners. These are business ventures. There's risk associated with business. There's no foolproof business, uh, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and that's that.
Mm.
But I would love to. I want to hear what his take on things are, and particularly about how you got people's cars, and which is just incredible to me. I don't know who signs over the car to you. I don't understand that. Uh,
I I mean, and there was
I know it's
something
so,
sexual going on, so that's who. If they were actually sexually involved, then that's probably how. Let's
but
be unbiased to help you
really,
get a fair trial of the test game role. And wait, so
I've been around a while. I never got a car out of the deal. It doesn't. It doesn't.
but
I don't know. And only one has admitted that.
well,
Only one
it
person's
she
admitted.
didn't sign it over to him for his personal. She
Right. She's not
signed
over
it
this.
over to him, quote unquote, to do business and for him to buy her this motorhome. So she was, why she felt she needed to liquidate a vehicle that was already paid for. I don't really get that, but
I, I
that's
think
that's what she did.
I think because I believe because he was able to produce these luxury vehicles, Bentleys and things like that, and so he's able to tell you, I can get you into some of these things, and he very well may have been able to do that, because he's obviously been producing them or getting them. So again, we
Why
have
does
to hear
she
from
need
him.
him though? I mean, all you got to do is go to. I mean, she didn't. Gail Bickham, I don't think needed him to help her get into anything, right?
That's
She seemed to
that's
be a
the
woman of a certain amount of means. She may not have been wealthy, but she seemed to have some coins,
that's
and
why
I'm assuming some. Yeah, I don't understand that.
she would have to
She needs to
explain.
explain. Okay.
Right, explain that. How does a woman of means, how does a real estate agent go to him for real estate,
Okay.
who is not an agent?
Okay.
Why would you contract him to look for real estate when he's not a real estate
Why
agent?
would you give him money? Why would you engage with him when you knew that he was on some type of, you know, uh so the type of time that he was on when you did know him from the past? You knew he was married to Carol. You knew he told you he was married to Shirley. He told
Hmm.
you he was married, and then he takes you to the green waters. Um, you guys had, I mean, clearly there was something going on.
Right.
Um,
But that is, but people see relationships in different ways, and so everybody's an adult. And
I mean, it's cool. I mean,
people do adult things. I'm not a moralist
absolutely.
here on
No,
that,
I'm not.
but
I'm
I
not
will.
dragging her on having whatever her
But
relationship was with this
yeah.
guy, but the relationship could have been the grease to oil that "are you out of your mind" type. Like, can you believe so and so just asked me to do X, Y, and Z? When you start sleeping with someone, that does create a little more of a situation where someone might feel comfortable to ask for what most would not.
But wouldn't that imply a relationship,
Yeah, but a
some sort
relationship
of
still
close
doesn't
relationship?
allow you to take $191,000 of my money.
I would think it would. I would think a relationship is how someone would give you $200,000 of their money. I think in her
So
case is what,
does that
220.
nullify a crime then? Does that make the theft by deception a moot point then? If you're in a
Uh,
relationship, does that actually make it civil? Is that what you're saying? Is it civil? Are you
I think
saying
it.
it's civil, Joey?
I think it complicates things. I
Mm.
think if you can prove a relationship was there, then the other party can say that was a gift, or it was an understanding that we had that this is how things are going to be. I'm
So
just
but if
spitballing, just
you
throwing
think
things
it's a
out.
relationship, but it's actually a con because he's in a bigamous marriage situation, he's got this one on the east side, this one on the west side, this one here, and this one there. You think it's a relationship, but he's running a portfolio of women who are all giving him things and he's
Yeah.
doing things for, and he's living, multiple different storylines.
Okay.
So yes, you can prove a relationship, but he was in many relationships and that was part of the scam. So
Well,
that's
again,
that's the RICO right there.
what? Uh, yeah,
Maybe,
I
I don't
guess
know. That's part of the
I don't know.
RICO.
It is certainly it's certainly some possibly be illegal things going on. Again, we just have to hear, but we have to hear I can't make
He's
a
not going to tell
call.
us anything. I don't believe that
He
Nesto.
will.
First,
He will. He will.
you
He
think he's
will.
going to get on the stand?
No, he'll do
Please,
it through
God.
through his lawyers.
Okay.
He will tell his version of the story.
I would
It
love
will.
for him to get on the stand, but I think that he could just go ahead and make his reservation at the penitentiary if he did.
Well,
He could just
you
go
don't
ahead.
know. You don't know.
I'd like a room with a view, please.
He could get on this. He could get on the stand and tell you whatever he told Bickham, or whatever he told what's the other one? I can't think of her name now. I mean,
Scretchen
Gretchen, or
or
whatever he,
Delaney or
yeah,
Washington or any
or
of the
correct,
people,
any of the
Ty the
people.
jeweler, all of
You
the people.
right.
I
So it
mean,
would.
wait till they get Ty the jeweler on the stand. I know she wasn't on the list, but if they're going to tie in what happened with them notifying Ty the jeweler that of the receipts of Gail Bickham, and then Ty calls Shirley calls Nesto, you know, all of the things. I'm trying to think of the chain of events of things that happen. It's nuts. And that's
It's.
all revolving around Gail Bickham's money. So Gail Bickham's money goes to Ty the jeweler. She writes Ty the jeweler a check. Why
Mhm.
I would want to know that. So when you and Nestor were doing business, what was the reason for him asking you to write a check to Ty the jeweler?
I think what he did. See, again, we don't know that he's gonna have. She is gonna have to tell. I
And
can
not write a
speculate.
check. I don't mean that literally. I mean,
I can.
if they were cashier's checks. So
I can
you still have to go to
speculate.
the bank.
I can
Go ahead.
speculate that what he did was, I think this is what I believe. I believe he told her that I have these high profile celebrity friends and I
Mhm.
can put you in the room with them as investors, but you're going to have to kind of you're going to have to do some things for me. You're going to have to wet my beak a little bit. So I need you to write a check to this person. And I think what he told her was the jeweler check. I think he said Daniel Diamond. He gave her a name. He didn't say Danielle's
Mhm.
Diamonds. He gave her an
But he
actual name.
probably spelled it wrong. Danielle Dramens. I was
I
kind of
don't
spelled
know.
like
No, no,
that, but
no, 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 no. I don't think so. I think he did that on purpose to get the check written, and then later on came
oh,
back and
you
says, "Oh, no,
think
no, no,
he
no."
mistakenly you think the way so Danielle or Danielle, it was a misspelling of Danielle, and instead of diamonds, it was like Drannins or something.
Correct. I think it
Um,
was done. I think that was done on purpose. I think that
and
was
then the police were like, we later found out it was Danielle Diamonds.
right. I
Okay,
think
so
that
you
was
think
done on
he
purpose.
purposely wanted it to sound like just some guy named Daniel or
Correct.
Danielle,
Correct.
um, and
And
make a
and then he
correction later.
right, make a correction later. Oh yeah, yeah. Make it to Daniel's diamond. Oh yeah. And by then since you've already written the check, you've already done it. You would just make another call and just kind of change it.
Mm,
So um, that's that's what I believe.
mm.
Um, and because and if that's not true, you would have to go back to Miss Bickham and say, did you know you were buying a diamond ring from Daniel? And I would be surprised if she said she knew she was doing that. I'd be very surprised if she said, yeah, I knew I was doing that.
Oh my
And
God.
if the answer is
What a
yes,
nightmare.
then the answer is, why did you think, so why were you buying this ring? And, again, it just opens up just different lines of questioning. Why would you buy the ring and for what purpose? And so she's going to be extremely interesting to talk to. Now keep in mind, she did not file a complaint until the police contacted her.
Yes.
So she had lost the most money. I mean, 200 plus K.
Hmm.
She was going to let that just go.
Let me just say something. So Bible Lady did come on a live stream once upon a time and tried to draw Sonya into the Danielle Diamonds thing. I think she did a subsequent live just to not muddy the waters. She did do a later live. The reading situation over there is not the best. And we're talking about specifically the blogger, not the Bible Lady in our chat. Specifically the notorious blogger, Sylvia. She has some issues with reading aloud, and I don't know where she got that from. I watched the live, and I did a live after and pulled up the receipts, and I don't know where she got that from. Why she was trying to say that? Was she trying to throw Sonia under the bus back then? It's possible, girl. She was. I don't know what she was doing, but she did try to bring Sonya into that mess. And what was the intent behind it? I can't even speak to that. I don't know anything. I don't know enough about it other than you guys swarmed me to ask me what I knew about it, and I was like, I know nothing. I know that what it says, and I just think she read it wrong, or I don't know. She may have intentionally read it wrong. I don't know, but that's not what the paper said. It was Danielle Drannins or something.
Yeah.
I think Gail was embarrassed. She let dumb Nesto take advantage of her. That's definitely a good possibility. So Joey, anything else? So what do you think? Can you give us any little predictions? Because I've got to get on mom duty real quick. Any predictions? Like what's next, in your opinion? What we can expect? I do think that Sonya she's going to fade out really soon. If she gets a lawyer, she's not going to be able to talk to him or visit him anymore. So that's almost getting ready to be a wrap if she engages a lawyer. If she doesn't engage a lawyer, I'm ready to let the shit show continue because that's what I'm here for. Too, on top of the crime of it. Um, what do you think is coming?
Okay, I pretty much agree with you. I do
Hmm.
believe that there's going to be a couple more iterations of these kind of administrative uh, hearings to
Hmm.
kind of get that straight. So a lot of it's like watching paint dry. So just be prepared for that. And will Sonia stop visiting him? I honestly don't know. I mean, you've already you the horse is out of the barn at this point in time, so there's really no reason for her to stop. But it may scare her off. I've been wrong before, so uh, I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer. I guess what I can tell you is we just don't know. We're just at the very beginning of this, and there's a lot of things we don't know. Just keep with the dates, and just keep following it. Fulton County moves kind of slow, so the June date again, I think it's a placeholder, but I wouldn't be surprised if stuff
If that's the
wasn't
actual
happening.
date, if they're like, look,
Yeah,
we'll deal with this later. You
yeah,
guys get this
yeah,
straightened out. You guys meet in the hallways, make some phone calls, straighten this out, and let me know when you guys are ready to get this
right.
thing on the road. I just had a thought, and I know I could be dead wrong. What if Kayla Bumpus said, Sylvia, every time you've asked me for help, I've helped you. Is Sonya calling Kayla Rico Bumpus Jackson to help her and try and get some free legal advice? Who
It's
all these
possible.
lawyers that Sonya knows, is
It's
she
possible.
calling one of her Rolodex of lawyers, or is she calling Kayla Rico Bumpus Jackson?
It's possible. It's very. I mean,
Baby,
it
that
sounds
sounds
very
plausible.
plausible to me.
Because Sylvia was on what WTF Wednesday, and they seem to have made up. And I would not be surprised if Sylvia, hey, I've got a friend. She just got a subpoena for the RICO of Nesto. Da, 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 da. Can you help her? Can you take a call? And we know Kayla likes a little bit of attention,
Correct.
just a little bit. She likes a little.
Well, yeah, she has a YouTube channel, so that answers that.
Well, I think
It,
there's a conflict though, because she's supposed to be very good friends with Nicole Mormon. And Nicole Mormon's name was mentioned in this case, so she probably can't take the case, considering her one of her besties is mentioned in the case. But
mm,
Atlanta's a small place. I don't know. It just seems like it's like wow. I like that's she couldn't take it, but I wonder if she's calling, asking. Maybe she could be calling and asking for some legal
it
advice.
is. It is very possible, and to be honest with you, I would if I get free legal advice, and there's a lawyer that I can actually talk to about this. I don't know how much Kayla can tell her,
Mm.
um, other than you have to go
Yeah, you
and you
need to
have
get
to
everything
get
together
it together
and
and
turn it over.
produce this.
Go buy
So
2 jump drives and just start transferring files.
right. So I think that's pretty much what the answer will be. Um, but yeah, but she's got what she wanted. She's now a part of this, and I
I
don't.
wonder if there's anything in those, and I hate to sound super sinister about it. I don't want to say too much, but I wonder if they have been talking reckless in their emails. I wonder if there was anything very reckless in Sylvia's emails and anything that they potentially feel is reckless in Sonia's emails, because these people have some hate and disdain for some bloggers, including this one. I wonder if there's anything in there that they need to be concerned about in those emails.
It's
You
possible,
know?
but remember, the stuff that we get from phone calls from prison that you see is redacted. A lot of
Mhm.
information law
Yes.
enforcement has restricted, so you don't see that. So you don't know what they know, and so
Yeah, absolutely.
there may be some things that the prosecutor knows that she has that he wants to see that or that she has done, or communications that she's had that they want to see. So uh, it could be something as simple as that.
Mm,
She thought that it was something that they didn't know, but they actually do know, and they have eyes on.
and she's running her mouth
Right.
about or whatever. Um, okay, excellent. Joey never disappoints. Joey, thanks for coming up. We appreciate you so much. And I know someone's going to ask, who's Joey? Joey is a friend of the show. Joey is in the bushes. Joey enjoys your girls podcast over here, and he likes to call in and tell us what he thinks and knows. And if you want to call in, absolutely, you can definitely be on the next time we do a call in. I will come back a little bit later, guys, but I've got to go and get on mom duties like in the next like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But Joey, thank you for coming up. I hope I didn't miss any questions. If anyone has any questions for Joey, put them down in the comments and then we'll get to them next time. Um, I hope I don't think I missed any questions. Is she willing to risk her free? Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, absolutely. She's already been to prison, Sonia. I'll just answer that one. Yes, she's been to prison before behind a guy. Can she afford a lawyer? Um, Real quick, are lawyers affordable? Are there affordable lawyers out here, or is there legal assistance for the somewhat indigent population out here? Are there legal services available for someone who's on a tight budget?
Mm, uh,
Don't get
I
in
think that,
trouble, right?
yeah,
Stay out of trouble.
I think the nature of law is yeah, so it won't be affordable. You're supposed to not have to need a lawyer if you live right.
Mm.
The so
If you
I
live
don't,
right.
yeah, if you're living right, you don't need a lawyer.
I love it.
Save your money for the doctor or somebody
Yeah, a
that
good vacation to
that you
Cozumel, right?
that you're gonna need at some point in time. But
Okay.
yeah, don't get yourself mixed up in the legal process
Everyone's
because you
saying Joey Wooten. Okay, but not everyone. Everyone's saying thanks, Joey, and someone said thanks, Joey Wooten. If we could be so lucky, no offense, Joey, we're happy with you, Joey, whoever that Joey might be. But if it were Joey Wooten, okay, fine. Either way,
I'll
Joey is a
take it.
friend to the show.
It's about justice.
It's about justice.
It's about justice. It's about justice.
It's
Make sure
about
everybody gets
justice,
okay.
starring
Yes.
Joey.
There you go.
It is about justice, though. It
It is
really is.
about
I mean,
justice.
we don't want to see in we don't want to see an injustice. And I mean,
No.
I am enjoying seeing Nesto navigate through these justice streets. I'm enjoying it very much.
I'm
We've
not
learned
because
a lot.
I think it's taking too long. I'm
It is
really troubled
carrying
by the
on a bit
fact
much.
it is taking a
It's
long
carrying
time.
on.
So, if
I
you've
would
done
like
something
to,
wrong, let's get it done and get it let's look at it and get you on your way. And if you haven't,
but
let's
their
get that
answer
done
could
and
be the sheer volume of charges prolonged out the process. If he hadn't been so prolific and so committed in his work, maybe they could have buttoned this up a long time ago. But because he had such a big portfolio of wrongdoings, it's taking the time it's taking. It's not
well,
us, it's him.
that's true. Uh, that's allegedly that is true.
Allegedly, yes,
Allegedly that
allegedly.
is true. Again,
Joey, you're
I'm
awesome. I hope that you have a Merry Christmas.
you too, Fran. Be
Do you guys
safe.
have big plans? Just a nice Christmas with the fam.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Same as it always is.
And isn't that a
Everybody,
wonderful thing? Me too.
it is. It is. Everybody's here.
Okay, so Merry Christmas. Wish your family the
Merry
best
Christmas.
from Bougie Gang. We
I
appreciate you so
will.
much. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. If there's any new developments, we will put the bat signal out for you to come right on back so you can help us make it all make sense.
Just keep identifying the dates. I tune in
Yeah.
every so often to see what the dates
Okay.
are, and I get that from you normally.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Joey's so cool. So cool in a
So
very unassuming way. We appreciate you
yeah,
so much, Joey.
thank you, Fran, for doing this. I really
Absolutely. My
enjoy you doing
pleasure.
this.
Oh,
All
thank
right.
you. Thank you very much. Okay, you take care. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Guys, wasn't that so much fun? Our friend Joey came to talk to us today. I know you guys enjoyed that. And we enjoy the special treat of him coming through to spend time with us. Guys, I'm going to cut this one now. I can't even begin to thank like all of the thank yous. I hope I have said thank you to each individual person. I feel like I did. Thank you so much for gifting the membership, TD Will. I appreciate you. Um I gotta go pick Boo Boo up from the pickup line. You know how important that is. And nobody wants to be last parent standing. So let me go get her. I am going to come back. I do want to share the documents with you guys from Peter's situation yesterday. So if you guys are up for another live, if I miss any questions, then we can get to those. But when I get back, we will finish these up and we can talk about it. Okay. If you guys have any questions, then I'll open the phone lines. You guys call in and we'll talk some more Nesto if you want to. But I'm going to share the Peter documents with you. And then from there, I'll drop the call in and anybody who wants to call in, we can talk about whatever. Okay. And that's it. That's all. I hope you guys are good with that. You guys good with that? Okay. Okay. You have to do a playback? If anyone who is here in the sound of my voice right now, you have not watched Pam the Law Intellect, go check out her live. It's like a must see if you're following this particular case. I haven't shared it yet on my community wall, but I will. Go to Pam the Law Intellect, check her live from yesterday, go watch it. It's over there exclusive to her channel, so go check it out. It's a must see, and then that way it'll have you kind of like in a good place while you're listening to all of this. It's like a good overview of what we have discussed like the last year. The detective responsible for delivering this case testified yesterday and talked a lot about, it was a high level overview of a lot of things. So definitely worth watching if you're following this coverage. I highly, highly recommend, just from number one, the testimony, and then also Pam's perspective on the matter. Also, Nyla's chat last night. We got together, talked about some things. So if you enjoyed this today, you're going to love Pam's broadcast and Nyla's. So I will make sure to share both of those. When I come back, we'll talk about Peter, and then I'll drop the line if you guys have any questions, and that's it. That's all. Happy Friday, guys. I thank you guys for joining me today. This was so much fun. I'll be back like in about an hour or two. Just let me get my daughter and then see what we got going on. And then as long as we're good, then I'll come right back. If not, then I'll be back in a little bit. Okay. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one. And I will see you guys later. Bye.